Hey Mama, it's Allie from Allie Boa Yoga. I'm so glad you're here. This class is specifically designed for nursing mothers, and I hope it gives you a sense of release and just like the physical weight off your shoulders. Having been a nursing mom twice myself, I know the stress that literally sits on your shoulders, in your traps, and can weigh on your back and your low back. And just the last thing you need right now is to have physical pain when you're already overtired and completely serving someone else. So this class was specially requested by a close friend, and I am so excited to do it for you. My goal is to keep it short and sweet because I know your time is limited and maybe you time isn't the priority right now. But when you take some time out for yourself to practice yoga, to get in touch with your body and release stress and tension from your body, you are going to do wonders for yourself. And you're also going to do wonders for a peaceful state of mind so you can better meet the needs of your baby. So let's get started in a comfortable seat. Pull the fleshy part of your cheeks away from your sitting bones and rock down into a seat. Let your hands fall into your lap and take a moment to take a few breaths in and out. The goal here is to breathe in and out through your nose throughout your entire practice. That will help you stay grounded, centered, and peaceful. Be aware of sitting up with a nice long spine and really soften your shoulders away from your earlobes. You want to keep creating space from your shoulders away from your earlobes. We'll take just a couple of gentle neck rolls. Bring your ear towards your shoulder. And if you'd like, on the next side, you can bring your hand to the outside of your head. Keep drawing your opposite shoulder away from your earlobe. And then switch. You could even do this with baby laying in front of you on a blanket. Baby might want to nurse during this practice, which can always be maybe a little frustrating when you're trying to get a little connection, a little you time in. But I guess my best advice is just be gentle with you and growing baby. All right, we're going to make it to a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrists. Spread your fingers wide. You might have a little bit of wrist pain from picking up baby so often. We'll just plug right into the second knuckles and the inner corners of your hands. Engage your belly as much as you can. We'll take a few rounds of cat and cow. On your inhale, drop your belly towards the floor, turn up your toes, look up, press your heart forward, soften your shoulders down. We'll hold for a couple of breaths. We're going to move really slow today. On your next exhale, round your back, tuck your chin, press your upper back towards the sky. On your next inhale, drop your belly, press your heart forward, softening your shoulders away from your ears. If your jaw is clenched, unclench it. Your next exhale, cat. Press into your hands, the tops of your feet and your knees. Drop your head. One more round. Inhale, opening. You might wag your tail side to side. Good. And on your next exhale, round the back, tuck your chin. Good. Slowly come back to a neutral table. If you're feeling extra pain in your wrist, really press down into the second knuckles. Sweep your right arm up towards the sky. Make a big stretch. And then thread the needle of the right hand behind your left forearm and soften your right ear to the mat. Thread the needle. Right hand is resting on the floor. With your left hand, you can walk it forward. You could wrap it around your low back, or you could keep it just where it started. you're wrapping it around, you're going to feel a nice release in your left shoulder. Notice your breath, keeping it calm, steady, and even. And noticing your face and your jaw. Keep it all relaxed. Slowly release the left hand to the floor. Press it into the mat. Reach the right arm back up towards the sky. And then bend at the right elbow. Maybe either pressing your hand to the small of your back or wrapping the right hand around your left hip. Rotate your chest to the right. Nice shoulder release here. And then slowly switch. Right hand to the floor. Press into the second knuckles in the inner corners of your hand. Sweep your left arm high. Big stretch. Engage your low belly. Your core muscles have been compromised during pregnancy, so be gentle, but try to draw your belly button in and up towards your heart. Thread the needle. Left hand threads behind the right forearm. Left ear to the mat. And you can wrap your right arm around your low back. Walk it to the top of the mat or leave it just where it was. Easy breathing. And then release the right hand to the floor. Stretch the left arm up towards the sky. Hinge at the elbow. Rotate open to the left, dropping the left shoulder away from your left ear. Good. And then slowly release, tense your fingers. We're going to step your right foot between your hands. Find flat palms and scooch the left knee back. Come up onto tented fingers. This is low lunge. This mat's a little squeaky, so you might hear it. Make sure your right knee is stacked over your right ankle, stacked like a yardstick. Staying right here, sinking into your left hip. Your hips also change through pregnancy and delivery. So just breathe here into your left hip. Nursing can also bring about some low back pain. I always recommend propping a pillow or 2 or 3 against your low back. I also love my Breast Friend. I feel like that's such an awesome supportive pillow for nursing. Slowly walk your hands back, straighten your front leg, draw your toes towards your face, and drop your head towards your knee. Couple of deep breaths. We're going to walk it back to your low lunge, keeping your hands planted here, or bring your hands one at a time to your thigh. Interlace your hands on your right thigh. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Good. Then when you're ready, low belly engagement, sweep your arms up. Keep softening your shoulders down, and then we'll slowly release. Make your way back to a table. Good. Come up onto your tented fingers. Step your left foot forward between your hands. Draw the right knee back. Keep your fingers tented like 2 spiders. Engage your belly. This is our first low lunge. Long spine. Soft shoulders. When you're ready, straighten your front leg. Drop your forehead towards your knee. Let your head hang. Noticing your breath. And then walk yourself back out to your low lunge one more time. This time, bring your hands to your left thigh, interlace them. Soften your shoulders down. Make sure your left knee is opening towards the pinky toe side of your foot. We don't want it dropping inward. We want to protect the knee. So opening towards the pinky toe side of your foot, and knee is stacked over ankle. When you're ready, reach your arms up to the sky. And this time, maybe cradle your head with your hands and your gaze up. Keep softening your shoulders down as you open your heart. And then slowly release. Come back to a table. From here, we're going to walk the arms forward for puppy dog. So walk your arms forward, forward, forward. Your butt's going to kind of feel like it's up in the air because it is. Soften your heart down and your forehead down. If it's available, you could put your chin on the mat instead of your forehead. Breathe into your belly. Try to relax the second knuckles to the floor. If your chin's on the mat, bring your forehead to the mat. Slide your hands one at a time under your shoulders. Press your heart away. Good. We're going to roll forward with bent knees. We're going to lower all the way onto your belly. Hug your elbows in towards your ribs. And scoot your hips back. Keep your hands just as they are. Press down into your pubic bone and the tops of your feet. Draw your shoulders down, back, and together. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, peel your heart up a little bit more. Press down into your pubic bone, the tops of your feet. Maybe let your hands hover. Maybe interlace your hands behind your tail. Draw your knuckles towards your heels. Soft shoulders. And then slowly release. Bring your arms out to a T and your right ear to the mat. This is one of my favorite poses. It's called scorpion. Walk your right hand to the right. Roll onto your right hip and bring your left leg behind you. You're going to get a deep stretch in the right shoulder here. Breathing into your belly. You can wrap your left arm around your low back if that feels good. You can also straighten your top leg. So you can get a little hip work here and some nice deep shoulder work. Breathe into your belly. Steady inhales and exhales through your nose. And then slowly walk your left hand all the way to the left, rolling onto your left hip and your left ear. Bring the right leg up and over. Maybe wrap your right arm around your low back. Keep breathing into your belly. It might feel good to take a couple of sighs out. That will actively release tension from your body. And then slowly roll back to your belly. We're going to make our way to a downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, set them up first. Press into your second knuckles. That helps alleviate any wrist pain and keep your arms nice and strong. Turn up onto your toes and lift your hips up towards the sky. In your downward facing dog, we'll take a couple of beats, pedaling out your feet. And then we'll find stillness. You should be in a nice upside down V position. I want you to really focus on pressing your heart towards the front of your thighs. Okay, press your heart towards the front of your thighs. Sink your heels down. Press into the inner corners of your hands. And can you create some space by drawing your shoulders down? Try to draw your shoulders away from your elbows. Good. And then from here, look forward. Walk your feet to your hands. Be gentle. And keep your feet about hip width apart. That's 2 fists between your feet. Grab opposite elbow. Roll into a forward fold. Let your head hang. And if you're dumping the weight back into your heels, you'll see my butt is coming back. Roll some weight forward. You see that adjustment? If I'm rolling back, we're not going to get the full benefits of our fold. So engage your belly, roll some weight forward into your toes, and then evenly press down into the fronts and backs of your feet. Grab opposite elbow. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. and really let your head hang. And then slowly release your hands to the floor. Bend your knees and sit all the way down. Good. Back to our seat. Doing pretty good on time, I think. We're gonna, from here, just take 2 more poses and then we will rest with our legs against the wall. And I'll show you what that looks like too. So bring your right knee stacked on top of your left. This is called cow face. Right knee is stacked on top of your left. Make sure you're pressing both sitting bones down. Those are your actual bones, your butt bones that you sit on. So your right butt cheek might feel like it's lifting a little bit. Press that down and then sweep your arms up towards the sky. Press your palms together. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. And then wrap your right arm around your low back, pressing the top of your hand into your low back, and reach your left arm up towards the sky, pressing the flat palm to the nape of your neck. So in a lot of forms of yoga, we're actually clasping the hands, but your shoulders are probably feeling pretty tight. If you can interlace your hands behind you, that's great. If not, that's great too. So just press the palm into the nape of the neck and the back of your right hand into your back. Soften the left shoulder down. This is going to work your hips and your shoulders. Good. And then we're going to slowly release. Drop your shoulders away from your ears for a beat. And then we'll unwrap and switch sides. Stacking your left knee on top of your right. Walking your heels away from you. Press the left sitting bone down. Really want to do our best to stack the knees. I know this can feel like a lot on your hips. You could always sit on a pillow or a bolster or a folded towel for a little bit more support. Sweep your arms up high. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Good. From here, you're going to reach the right arm around your back. No, we're going to reach the left arm around your back and your right arm up high. Good. Hinging at the elbows. Press the right palm into the nape of your neck. We've got that left arm wrapped around the top of your left hand. It's pressing into your back. Psst. We've got a little guy watching something, scooting around on this chair. This is cow face. If you feel like you're hunching forward, really actively open, especially focusing on that right elbow here, opening. You're going to feel a little work in the shoulder. It's going to feel like really open and stretched, especially once we release this. Good. Slowly release your hands to the floor, tent your fingers, drop your shoulders down. The last thing we're going to do before we rest, bring your feet to the floor, legs are bent. Let's come to a gentle forward fold. I'm going to show you the side version of this. Just going to look like this. Engage your belly, slowly fold forward. You might rest your hands on your feet and let your head drop between your legs towards your chest. Really letting your head hang. It might feel good just to bring your hands to the back of your head. And then come on up. Okay, last thing, because I love this. We'll just windshield wiper your legs. Drop the knees to the right and to the left. It's really good for your low back. It also releases in the hips. Okay, so we oftentimes have tight hips in general, let alone the fact if you've just carried a baby and had that stress on your body. So for you as a nursing mom who's also sitting a lot, we want to release the low back and hips as much as we can. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is put our legs up the wall. You can stay here as long as you want. Really, as long as you have. You could even nurse in this position if it was comfortable. So you're going to find a wall, bring one hip against the wall, and then drop down and roll your legs up. And then start to rotate yourself. It's just easier to keep your low back against the wall if you start with your hip against it. Bring your arms out to a T, an open, receptive position. Feel your low back pressing down into the floor. Close your eyes. This is such a beautiful way to end our practice. You can stay here as long as you like, as long as you have. Let your feet relax. Take some nice full sighs out. You sure do deserve this time. And I hope you come back to your body, your breath, and your practice as often as you can. And to you, my nursing mama, you're doing great. And I mean that in a very sincere way. It's a lot of work. You are physically and emotionally drained a lot of times, and you're giving yourself to your child in a really beautiful way. And it's amazing that you are able to breastfeed. And I wish you all the best on this journey. I'm going to do more of this, and I hope to see you back on your mat time and time again, because for you, your piece is super important, and it helps you be a stronger, more peaceful, just engaged mom. So with that, bring your hands to prayer at heart center, and we'll bow and say namaste.